Hello. I have air drying hair, so I look crazy. Deal with it. How's everybody doing? I don't think anyone's on here yet. Oh, one person's on. Hello, hello. I always see that people send me messages on Instagram and stuff, but I don't see it till like I'm on here. So, hey, Penny. Yes, it does. I have air drying hair, so I look like a maniac right now, but I wasn't going to stress myself out to dry it before I came on here. So, I was running out of time. Plus, I just wanted to, I try not to put heat on it as much as possible. So, because I'm probably just going to end up pulling it back like this because I'm babysitting later. So, hi, Sue. How are you today? I have my, y'all going to make me lose my mind up in here mug filled with, you won't be able to see it probably. Ooh, maybe a little bit. My son Gavin, his girlfriend's mom, got me this double green matcha tea from the Republic of Tea for Christmas. Oh my gosh, it is so good. So I make it and then I have a skinny syrup. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. I have this skinny syrup that's blueberry lavender. And so I put just a little bit of that blueberry lavender syrup in the matcha tea and then some almond milk. And it's the most lovely blueberry lavender matcha latte. Hello, Anna. How are you? So I'm trying to chill myself out with some tea and just have you tried it, like, making it latte like this, though? This one okay, I have to say, though, this is the best matcha tea I've ever had, like, that you can get at home. Hi, Maggie. It's from the Republic of Tea, and there are these cool, like, round, um, tea bags, like, they don't have a string on them. I just throw it in the bottom of the cup, and I use the Keurig to do the hot water, but then adding that blueberry lavender syrup and a little almond milk, it's, like, sweet, but not too sweet, and it's so good. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean, like, because I have some other matcha tea, like, tea bags and stuff that I can't get into, but this one I love. Does anybody have any exciting stuff going on today? I, well, I'm sure you saw what the title of my live is. I am struggling with some anxiety. It kind of started yesterday, and and it happens to me every once in a while. I'm not like an anxious person necessarily. I'm a little bit of a worrier. um, but I just get sometimes where anxiety, and it's like I can't even pinpoint what it is. Um, but isn't that anxiety anyway? Like it doesn't matter. Um, I do know some things like this week I have a few different things happening and I get very easily overwhelmed. I know it's stupid. I know people think it's stupid and that I'm just spazzy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter what I tell myself and try to talk myself down. If you have anxiety, you understand because it's just not something you can just talk yourself out of. And so ooh, making bread, that sounds wonderful. But yeah, so I've got a few things going on this week and I get very overwhelmed very fast when there's things that I have to do. That sounds stupid, but like my husband even said, he said, I think you need to just say no to more things. Like just don't do anything that isn't something you're like excited to do. And that just feels so weird though. You know what I mean? Like other people can do a million things. Like, why can't I? Why do I have to be like a spaz about everything? But I can't help it. Yes, a worrywart. I totally get that. I've gotten a lot better about it, for sure. And I pray a lot to that does help me. But this is actually pretty funny. It's not funny. Do you ever say things and you're like, that doesn't even make any sense for what I'm talking about? Anyway, so I was kind of texting my husband and stuff because he's at work and just telling him, like I'm gonna go live from 2 to 3 because I am babysitting tonight, and so I have to be there at 5. well, my husband and my youngest son get home at like 3:30, and they leave at 5 to go for my son for basketball practice. So I'm like, I want to be off of here so I can make dinner and spend time with them before I go, because I probably won't get home till really late. Like my son will be in bed and stuff um, from babysitting. So I'm like, I want to go, spend a little bit of time with them, especially since I have been feeling very anxious. It just makes me feel better to be with my family and, chill out. Sorry, I'm hitting this, but I'm going to adjust my legs here. Um, and yeah, so I am babysitting. You can see my blankets and stuff all over. And I love that. In fact, I was freaking out yesterday thinking about the little girl that I'm going to babysit. Her name is Izzy. I started babysitting her when she was 6 months old, and next month she's going to be 7. And that totally freaks me out. I cannot believe she's that old already. Um, but she always gets so excited for me to come over and stuff. So that's super sweet. And so it'll be nice to go spend time with her. And yeah, and then I've just got some other stuff like tomorrow. My husband has to go. Hi, Kate. Yay. My husband is going to a retirement dinner for a lady from the school district, whatever. And my son has a game that's like an hour away. And I have driving anxiety, in case you don't know. I'm just a ball of fun. um, and the drive actually itself is not bad. It's all country stuff. It's city driving that freaks me out. Um, so no problem there, but that's a long drive by myself, like at night and stuff. And so I'm trying to get my son Riley to go with me because he doesn't work tomorrow night. So he might go with me, but he said he has to wait to hear back from a friend because they had talked about uh, one of his friends who's also like a musician. They get together and jam out and stuff. Actually, I think last week when I was on here, he was leaving to go hang out with them and do that. So he's waiting to hear back from him about tomorrow night. So I think maybe he'll go with me. I'm hoping. Otherwise, I'm trying to figure out, do I want to drive there by myself or just not? But I can't stand the thought of not being there to watch him because I love it. So, oh, Sue, I love the freedom of being able to drive and go do things into the places I'm comfortable with, but yeah, I like definitely don't want to go into any kind of city besides the one city that I'm super used to. But I don't, yeah, it's very nerve-wracking. But so anyway, I was texting my husband, just kind of telling him like, and I feel bad because I'm like, I hate that you have to deal with my BS, like basically. And he's like, I hate that you have to deal with it. It's not me, He's super understanding, even though he doesn't understand, he's like, he gets anxiety about speaking, like public speaking or having to like at the school for stuff. But other than that, he doesn't have anxiety issues. So he's like, I know the feeling of being super anxious and sick about if I have to speak for something. So he can kind of relate. But unless you're somebody who suffers with anxiety, and I don't have it to the point where I feel like I need medication. It's not like a constant thing. It comes and goes every once in a while. Like I can go months without feeling it. And then, it just kind of hits me out of nowhere. So that's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, driving at night is rough. And that's the thing too. I'm like, okay, that's a long way at night all by myself. At least if my son's with me, I don't like fall asleep driving or anything like that, but it's just that comfort of knowing someone else is with you if you have any kind of an issue. Like if I like blew a tire and was on the side of the road, I would like completely freak out. So I want to have him with me. Hi, Liz. Aw, I'm so glad you guys are here. I knew I would feel better talking to you. So I was like crazy anxious earlier today, like sick. Like I thought I was going to throw up. I was like, I just don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And that really is how I get. I am a homebody for sure anyway. So I don't like to leave the house a ton. That's just the way I am. I always have been. Which is so funny because my mom and stuff is like, I don't know how you can stand it. Like she's on the go. One of my sisters is a super on the go kind of person. Like she's never home. The other one, she's pretty on the go too, but she likes to be home more than that. But I am definitely a homebody for sure. And so when I feel overwhelmed, the last thing I want to do is go anywhere or do anything. I'm like, please just let me stay home. And like I said, I just want to stay home and like clear out my house. I've been going through a lot of stuff and taking last week I had talked about I took a ton of stuff to Goodwill, and I want to do that like every week, which this week I was feeling kind of down because um they had snow days at school from Wednesday through Friday last week. So my husband and my son, who aren't usually here all during the day, were home. And so I was doing stuff with them. So I wasn't doing like the, you know, cleaning stuff out and doing stuff like that because, your routine's just different. And so then I was like down on myself about that. I've been really down on myself about how my body is right now. I'm really uncomfortable and put on a lot of weight over the holidays. And so I've been like stressed out about that. And just, things start like compounding and then become way more than they really are, like in your mind. Everything gets too shiny and blurry at night. Yes, especially if it's raining, forget it. Like that's horrible. I don't think it's supposed to rain or anything though. Um, Yes, going past, like, the big semi trucks freaks me out, like, on the highway. I'm like, I just wanna get around them, like, "Ah, hurry up and get away." I freak out. "Hi, Steph. Yay." But yeah, so I was just texting him kinda like, like, "I'm struggling, like, just so you know." Like, and this he's like, "Is there anything I can do for you?" And I'm like, "No." It's just it has to pass. I just know how it is. And, it doesn't make it not suck in the moment, but I know that it will, pass. And so I sat down, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do some quick, easy makeup. I know, and it's so funny because it's like I want them home, but it does throw off everything that you typically do. So like I don't like to work out if people are home because I don't have a space to work out besides our living room. So I'm in the middle, our house is small. So I'm in the middle of where everyone is. Well, I'm not gonna do that. Like that's uncomfortable to me and I just don't like it. So yeah, so it does throw things off. Um but yeah, so I sat down and after my shower or whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna go take a shower and just try to chill out and whatever. So I did, and I sat down and started doing my makeup, which is so relaxing to me. Literally doing makeup is like therapeutic to me. It just is. And which I'm so washed out right now. It's pretty funny. But I have something weird going on with underneath this one eye. It's like kind of pink and dry, and I don't know why. I think I do know why because it's something I'm using right now, but I don't want to say it yet because it's supposed to be kind of a video thing, but we'll see. Oh, thank you so much, Steph. Yeah, it's like I know I'll get past it, and once I'm through this week, because like babysitting tonight and figuring out if I'm going to drive to that game tomorrow, and I have a baby shower on Sunday. My mind goes, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you have all these things going on." That's what my mind does, and then my body starts freaking out, and I'm just like I don't wanna do anything. That's just what happens to me. So even, like, last night, I kept stressing about for this morning because Bible study is on Tuesday mornings, and I love it, but I was like, "You know what? I have to not go. I have to just not," because it was another thing in my mind that I'm like, "Okay, it's almost a half hour away. So I'm like, I'm gonna drive half an hour for an hour and a half thing and drive back. So that's, 2.5 hours of my day before I have stuff that I needed to get done here or want to get done before I'm going to babysit tonight or before my live and then making dinner and stuff and then going to babysit. And I'm like, it's okay to not go. A lot of my issue is things I put on myself, like I feel like I have to do certain things when no one is telling me I have to do it. Like there's nothing that's actually like, no, you have to do this. And I make myself feel that way. And so it stresses me out. Um, I feel like things are just weird. There, that's better. Um, so yeah, it's just okay, no problem, Steph. Um, but yeah, so I sat down, started doing my makeup. Do you see? I just go off on all sorts of tangents. And I was like, you know what? There is this song. I love the band Fit for a King. I don't know if you know. They're a Christian metalcore band, and they have a song called "Locked in My Head," and it says "Locked in My Head again." A war against myself. It's me and no one else. Nobody understands. I'm locked in my head again, and it's like I relate to it so much because that's how I feel when I'm in this situation. And it's not that no one understands, but even if you're somebody who does deal with anxiety, nobody knows each other's anxiety. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have an idea of it, but so just that song resonates with me a lot. And so I was listening to that. Well, I had it on Apple Music, and usually a lot of times I just put Fit for a King on and just listen just to Fit for a King while I'm getting ready. And but I had just put it on the song. So then it started playing songs from other Christian metalcore groups. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like, I'm texting my husband, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, do you know this song? Like, this song's awesome." He's like, "Who are you?" Because my son Riley, who's a musician, he's a drummer, he is all about, like, that type of music, which is how we kinda got into it. My husband's been into it for a while, and then I started getting into it, like, this past year. And, there's just something about it, like, I the sound isn't for everybody, but it is for me. Like, but I'm both ways. Like, there's some people who are not the, like, flowery worship music. I listen to praise and worship music, Christian music, that's what I listen to for the majority of the time. Occasionally, in the summer, mostly, I don't know why, but it's like a summer thing for me. I listen to, like, 70s rock, I love. Um, but otherwise, that's the type of music I listen to. But not everybody likes that, like, beautiful, flowery sounding music, you know what I mean? And the thing about the metalcore is, for me, a lot of things in my life, like, from the way I was before I became a Christian to now, to me, it's such a victory, it's a triumph, it's something that I like, I'm very passionate about, and the sound of the metalcore resonates with me in that way because it's like an anthem, it's a I don't know, there's just, like, a power behind it that I love. Hi, Clara, yay, yay, yay! And so I've just really been loving, like, that type of music, and, actually, like, one of my absolute favorite songs from Fit for a King is called "Slave to Nothing," and so I actually would just listen to that before I came on here too, because that to me is, like, my true anthem in life. Like, I am a slave to nothing. I have overcome like, Christ has helped me overcome some crazy, crazy things in my life. I'm not a slave to anything. Like, and so it's like I'm telling myself that, like, you are a slave to nothing. Like, do not let this anxiety, the way you're feeling right now, this temporary crap, overwhelm you. You know what I mean? And steal your joy. And it doesn't steal my joy, but it makes me unhappy. But that ticks me off. Like, I don't want something that I can't even tangibly see to take that happiness from me. You know what I'm saying? So I just I don't know. So yes, that music, I told my husband, I'm like, I can literally feel my anxiety lifting as I was listening to that, which is funny because the sound of it, a lot of people, if they listen to metalcore like that, and it's Christian metalcore, so that's the difference. The lyrics are, Christian. And like, a lot of people, that sound would be give them anxiety, you know what I mean? Like, make them feel, but for me, it's like no, like, I'm bigger than what this is. That's like the lies. The devil is lying to me and trying to make me feel like I just can't handle anything and I can't, whatever. And so, yeah. So listening to that music just really, I was like, oh, yeah. And that's the thing. It's a scary feeling. It's like, because it makes you feel out of control. Now, the reality of that is my son Riley and I were just talking about this the other day about realizing there is such a freedom in realizing we aren't in control. There are only certain things you can control, like the way you react to things, but we cannot control everything around us. And I think a lot of our issues with stuff is feeling like we need to have control, and we don't. Like, so there's like that freedom of going, okay, I don't have control of everything that's happening around me. All I can do is control the way I'm going to react to it, and be in control of the things I can be as far as like choices I'm making and things like that. And I have some really good conversations with Riley. He's like very thinks about, because he struggles with anxiety stuff and some depression type things and stuff. So like, we have some really good talks about those kind of things. And he was the one the other day saying, like, realizing I am not in control, and like that actually makes me feel better. And I'm like, yes, like, I totally get what you're saying. Penny, I'm just now reading about that you can't listen to music most times, that makes you nervous. Yeah, you would not wanna listen to this music then. I am all about the double kick pedal in it, like, because my son's a drummer and that's, like, a sound I love, like, that like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. But, yeah, I totally can get why. Oh, thank you so much, Tish, and hi! Hi, Tish. Tish, I gotta do my Tish shimmy. Yes, Clara, it is hard. It's like you have to be very mindful of, like, realizing, like, this is not true. What I'm feeling right now is a lie. Like, it doesn't mean you're not gonna feel it. I mean, it might the feeling is still gonna stay there a lot of the time, but just giving yourself that, like, check of, "This is temporary and this is not real." Like, it feels real. And like I said, I'm not somebody who, like, needs medication for it. It's not something that I, like, deal with a lot. It comes and goes. Like I said, sometimes I can go like months and never, and I don't even think about it. And then all of a sudden it just hits me out of nowhere. But I totally understand why some people do need medication for it. And there's no shame in that. And so, yeah, because it's like you can tell yourself it doesn't change what you're feeling, but it is good to keep your mind in check like that. Yes, Liz, I agree. 'Cause that's the thing, and the thing is too, like, my husband can tell, like, even if I didn't say anything, like, he'll be like, "Are you okay?" Like, you can just tell when somebody's struggling with something, and it is nice to be able to, even though he doesn't necessarily completely understand, he's great about listening and, hearing me out about what I'm feeling and things like that, and he's a fixer. So it's very hard for him because he wants to be able to fix it. So he's like, "What can I do for you? What can I?" And I'm like, "You really can't." Like, I appreciate that, but it's just something, it's just got to run its course basically, and I'll be fine. Like, but, that's very hard for him. That's funny, funny. And that's what I think I love about, like, classic, like, 70s rock and stuff in the summer. Well, for one thing, I grew up listening to all different kinds of music. Like, my parents listened to everything. But there's something about that type of music that is summer to me. And a lot of times, like, because my parents have at their house, they have that big log home. They have, like, these speakers from their garage that they play music, like, all during the summer and stuff. And Ashley and I love, they play Christmas music. So when you get to their house and as soon as you step out of your car, it's like Christmas. I love it. But we listen to, like, that type of music in the summer. So we're, like, floating in the pond on rafts and stuff. It's just like, to me, it's the sound of summer, you know? Like, I love that. Oh, thank you. I got this from, where is this from? American Eagle, I think. Which I got it last year. Is that what that says? I don't know. I can't see around I'm making myself dizzy. I'm sure you really care that much that I need to do this, but now it's gonna bug me if I don't. Yeah, American Eagle. Um, I got it last year. My husband and I went, and stayed a few days at a hotel at the end of January, and I got, like, all sorts of really good deals because, like, after Christmas and stuff, because we stayed by this outlet mall, and so I got it from there, and I do really like it. It's, like, really oversized and cozy. I love it, and I'm going to babysit later, so I was like, I just wanna be in comfy clothes." Oh, okay, Clara, and yeah, as needed, that makes sense too. Like, if it's not something that you have an ongoing, like, you don't need to take it all the time. That's okay, Carla, you're not late. I always tell you, whenever you come in is, like, just the right time. There's no being late. I am only going to 3 today because, I was saying I'm going to babysit and I have to be there at 5, and my husband and son get home at like 3:30, so I want to be able to make dinner and hang out with them before I leave because I won't get back until late tonight. So they'll probably both be in bed by the time I get home. And so I wanted to be able to hang out with them for a little bit and make dinner and stuff. So, oh, Maggie, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can totally understand that. Hello, Brandy. How are you doing? Yay. I get so excited every time somebody new comes in, like, filling up the chat, talking with you guys. I love it. I have to say too, so yesterday was when my anxiety stuff started, and last night I went on to Debbie's live, and her and Senia were together. I laughed so hard last night. It was the best thing. I'm like, this is exactly what I needed. Now I still woke up this morning and my anxiety was worse this morning than it was yesterday, but that doesn't matter. In the moment, I had so much fun last night. I was laughing my butt off. So I went to bed giggling. It was awesome. Oh, good. 69 subs. Awesome. Hi, Raylene. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad to see people in here. But yeah, oh my gosh, I had the giggles last night so bad. It was awesome. Which I totally forgot. Well, I didn't really see my husband this morning. He kissed me goodbye and I was like half asleep. That was the thing too. I could not fall asleep. I'm a night owl anyway, but I was like, oh, I want to, get some good sleep. Like that'll probably make me feel better. And I was like, I'm going to get up early today. Not early, but early for me. And, work out and do all that stuff. I didn't fall asleep till, well, I was up on that till almost 2. And I think it was at least 2:30 or later before I fell asleep. And when my alarm went off this morning, I was like, I don't think so. So I shut it off and I went back to sleep. And so I did not get any of the stuff done that I planned to do. And that's what my husband had texted me like, "Oh, you getting the stuff done you wanted to do today?" I'm like, "No." Like I'm a failure. No. But that's kind of the spiral that happens. I'm like, "Okay, but did it have to be done? Does it have to be done?" No, it doesn't. So Danielle, stop doing that to yourself. Last night on Debbie's channel, her and Senia did a live, and oh my gosh, if you get a chance, okay, it's like a 3-hour live, I think, but I laughed so hard. I think I was on there for the last 2 hours, I think, and oh dang, was that funny? Yes, it was too funny. The whole hurting for a squirtin', I cannot stop giggling about that. And also, Senia saying, 2 looks, 1 eye. I don't know why, but that just made me get the giggles so bad. I'm like, "Oh my goodness." It is a must-see, I agree. It was awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it. I cannot wait this summer. Hopefully everything works out because Debbie is gonna be coming to Michigan, and, oh my gosh, I can't wait to be able to do hopefully we can do, like, a live together because it would be so much fun. I know we will giggle our butts off. Fish lips, yep. Yeah, Kate Debbie at one point said, "Where's Kate? Kate, where are you?" Oh my gosh, it was a good one for sure. Definitely go back. If you wanna giggle about some stuff, go check it out. And she referenced, Cobbler Kate, so you might wanna check it out. Carla knows. She was in on that. Mm. Well, watch it and it will make you laugh. It'll make you feel a little better. Definitely. Oh my gosh. Laughter is like so therapeutic. It's so wonderful. Um Laughing and hugs to me are like the two greatest things in life. Like just that feeling of just that uncontrollable laughter and the feeling of like hugging somebody and them hugging you back. I absolutely love. Those are my favorite things for sure. It's always funny to me people who are not huggers because hi Anne. Yay. I give a little yay as everybody comes in. Um my best friend Anne, she is not a hugger, but she hugs me and she gives good hugs too. I'm like, but she's just very not guarded, but it's just not her thing. But people that she's cares a lot about, is really close to, then she will. But I'm like hugging is just the best thing. It just makes you feel so much better. Penny, we wondered where you were. That's Debbie kept saying that. She's like, "Where is Penny?" Aw. I know. I was thinking I would like to watch Golden Girls because it's been forever since I watched that, and I think it would be fun. Yes, Stubby's life. It was so awesome. Aw. Oh, no, Kate. Well, then hugs have an extra special, you know, place to you because it's, like, placed for you. You know what I'm trying to say, I think. Like, when you can hug and it doesn't hurt, it's like you're so appreciative of it. I know, Brandy, thank you. I just took a shower. That's why my hair looks like it does, it's air drying, because I am going to babysit tonight, so I have to be there at 5, and these poor people. I was saying their daughter, I started watching her when she was 6 months old, and she's gonna be 7 years old next month. It totally freaks me out. But they had gotten tickets to see Elton John 2 years ago. Well, then everything hit and got canceled. So they just came back, like rescheduled the shows, and it's for a Tuesday night. Isn't that weird? So they were actually trying to sell the tickets but couldn't. So I'm babysitting. So it's going to be a late night because, you know, it's going to be a late night. Concerts are at least an hour away from where we live. And so, because I'm not even sure where it's at. I'd have to look. But yeah, so it'll probably be a little bit of a late night. So maybe tomorrow during the day I can do a spa day. I don't know. We'll see. Because here's the thing. If I decide to go to my son's game tomorrow night, that for me, this is just how I operate. That will mean that I basically my whole day is just like getting ready. Not actually like sitting getting ready, like, but it's like I feel like I don't have time to do other stuff if I have somewhere that I'm going in the evening. That's just how I work. So that's why I'm saying I get overwhelmed really easily. So if I'm like, okay, you know, today I am going to babysit and tomorrow I'm going to a game and then Friday is a game too. And then Sunday I have a baby shower. I'm like, my mind, I just start freaking out. Like I'm like, it's too much. It's too much stuff. Yeah. So ridiculous, but that's the way it is. Um, uh-uh. Yeah, she was definitely wondering where you were, Penny. Oh my goodness, 3 a.m. till school started. Oh, I'm not the girl for that job. I didn't even go to bed till almost 3 a.m. I bet it's gonna be an awesome concert. And their wedding song is Your Song, right? Is that what it's called? Valentine? And so I know it's like special to them, but yeah, it just stinks that it ended up being on a Tuesday. The original one was on a Friday. And so then it's on a Tuesday. Yeah, I try to air dry my hair as much as I can because it's cruddy and I want to not put heat on it as much as possible. But I'm probably just going to end up pulling it back anyway to go babysit. But so I won't have to put any heat on it then because I'll just let it dry and pull it back. So that will be good. But yeah, I'm so glad I just sat and did my makeup and listened to that music. It like made a world of difference for me. 3 a.m. till 7 p.m. Oh my goodness. Are they grandkids or just kids that you babysit? Yeah, it's good. If you can, like sometimes I don't have time to let my hair air dry, but if I do, I try to let it. And I just colored it the other day, so no more grays. Woohoo! I have the weirdest video coming up on Thursday. Keep an eye out for that. If you want to see me look like a total weirdo and do something really weird, then you'll want to watch it. Oh, okay. Just kids you watch. Yeah, so I'm at this weird stage. Like this will be fun to go over and watch Izzy because I know her well. She loves me. She's fantastic for me. And it's funny if she's getting a little like about something, I'll be like, Izzy. And she's like, sorry, Miss Danielle. But she's super sweet, such a smart kid. So smart. Like that girl It's incredible. And, so she's really fun to watch, and I don't watch her all that often either. And then tonight, of course, I'm not getting there till 5. Her bedtime's at, like, 8 because she'll have school in the morning, so, um, she'll go to bed, and then I'll just hang out there with their dog. They have a really cute, Great Dane. They used to have 2 Great Danes. They had, one was like a blue, I think they're called, and the other one was I can never remember the names of it. I know we've talked about this before, but it was one of the one it's like spotted, which was the son of the blue that they had. Well, then the son one, his stomach flipped. So that was sad because he died. And then Nala, the mom one that they had the longest, she ended up passing away like 2 or 3 years ago now. Um, and then now they have this one. His name is no, her name. It's a her. Her name is Ozzy because Izzy named her Ozzy. So I can't just tell you that. What do you mean? You mean about the video for Thursday? The teaser that I just gave? Um, but anyway, so yeah. Well, you just have to watch. I don't know what else to say. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing I decided to do, and I was like, maybe I won't even post it. Well, then once I started editing and stuff, I'm like, this is weird, and I'm kind of weird, so I'm just gonna do it. um, but yeah, so I will hang out with their Great Dane once Izzy goes to bed. But yeah, so that's kind of how the night will go. It's nice though because I'm really comfortable there because when I first started watching her, I watched her at their house. And so uh was it 3 days a week? I think so. So I know, Kate. It'll be here before you know it. Well, it actually goes up at midnight tomorrow night, technically. So of course you'll be sleeping, but you know. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about it. Oh, I also posted on my community tab yesterday, last night, I think, um, a video. It's Kendall Ray. She's a true crime channel. And I had actually seen this story before and was like, oh, and I'm trying to think of who did it. I think it might have been Danielle Hallen. Um, but then when I watched, but she didn't have like interviews or anything with like any of the people involved. Well, Kendall Ray's version has like interviews with these women who were at this party that this happened at. I was so disturbed. If you guys get a chance to watch that, like I said, it's on the community tab, it's linked on there, and let me know what you think of it because I feel like what in the world is going on that we live in a world where this kind of stuff is allowed to happen as far as like shoddy police work and people having no compassion or empathy whatsoever for other people. Like, what in the world? I was so angry. And like these women that were at this party, basically they're like the Real Housewives, the way they act, and like these snobby, oh my gosh, I was so angry. So if you get a chance to watch it and want to let me know what you think, I'll be interested to hear because I would love to see basically what they're trying to get exposure raised to get this case reopened because something is off big time. And so yeah, I just thought I'd mention that if you want to check that out. Oh my gosh, Kate, that's so cool. Oh, yay. We need a vacation. We like don't go on big vacations very much, but last April we went to Universal Studios in Florida. And it was so wonderful. Like it was the best thing ever. My oldest son didn't get to go because he already had a trip booked with his girlfriend and her family down to Florida, like a couple weeks after that or the next month or something. So he couldn't take all that time off work. But um, it was so good. Like it was so much fun. Except for I keep seeing things. It's kind of funny with the way the weather has been. I saw that Universal Studios had closed for like a couple days. Well, like their water park had because it was too cold. And I'm like, oh, that would be so awful to go down there to like be thinking I'm going from Michigan to Florida where it's warm and then get down there and you can't even do the stuff because it's too cold. And I think they closed I'm pretty sure I saw that they closed, um, like, the park for a day or 2 because of snow too. I was like, "What? Like, what the heck's going on?" So, yeah, pretty crazy. Yes, Sue. Oh my goodness. I could not believe, like, when I watched this and the way these women acted, they act like mean girls, like, they sound like some kids in grade school who are, like, just saying and doing things to make somebody feel bad, like, just to be mean. Ugh, I can't even. I'm like, "Who raises people like this?" Like, seriously, and then they're raising children? Terrifying. It's terrifying. It's like, what in the world? Ay, ay, ay. My oldest will be 23 on February 25th, so that's crazy. 23. Like, it was kind of funny. He said last year, maybe in the summer or something, he's like, "I'm older than you or your mom when you had your first kids." And I was like, "Yeah, because I was just shy of 21 when I had him. My mom was 21 when she had me. She had just turned 21. Her birthday's March 2nd, and I was born April 12th. So she had just turned 21 at the beginning of March and then had me in April. I had Gavin at the end of February and then turned 21 in April. And so he was like last year saying that, like, realizing he's like, I broke the generational cycle or whatever. I'm like, you did. That's pretty funny. The Karens of today. Yeah, no kidding. The gold tin was worth 10K. Saying you won a competition. I will tell you guys something I won I'm excited about. Oh, wow. Wow, that's amazing, Kate. How cool. That's awesome for him. And so awesome that he's doing that. That's so cool. The love of a family. I love that. Like, awesome. We actually went on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday to a fundraiser. A woman who works at the school, her husband, that's so awful. Um, has cancer that's incurable. And so the community was putting on a fundraiser for them. And so they had raffles and stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't need more stuff. I'm trying to get stuff out of my house because they had really cool, like all these baskets and stuff that you could put in for. But I was like, no, I don't need that. And they had one for a free family photography session, and you get like, now I can't remember how many pictures it said. I think it's around 15 pictures, and you get the rights to use them online and whatever. So I put in for that and I won it. So I'm so excited. My kids are gonna hate it. I'm like, oh good. The boys are gonna be like, seriously, mom. Like, we need a new family picture. So I'm excited. Yes, that's very thoughtful for a 19-year-old. That's how my 19-year-old is. He's like just a very tender-hearted, family-oriented, like sentimental kind of person. It's funny though, he doesn't cry, like that kind of stuff. Like he's not um like that, but he is very fierce and loyal to the people he loves. And so I think he's gonna make an amazing husband someday because he's he's so good to me. And I feel like that, like when they talk about, you can tell a lot about how a man is going to treat you by how he treats his mom. Like he is like my biggest fan. Like he is such a sweetheart. And so I know he is going to be incredible. All my boys are awesome. But you know what I mean? There's like different characteristics like that. And he's just very much that very fiercely loyal, which I'm like that. So I can, and so is his dad. So, aw. Sue. I know it is crazy when that stuff starts happening, and then it seems like it goes extra fast once kids start graduating. Oh, cool. So she turns 25 when you're on vacation? That would be so cool. Aw. Yeah, it is so nice to be able to have, and I know, like, my grandma loves to have pictures of her family all in her apartment, surrounding her. So the last one we got was, well, we got our one at church a few years ago, but already the kids have changed so much. I think they do them every 3 years. So that should be coming up actually. And when you go get it done for like the church directory, you get a free 8x10, which is pretty nice. But that's like the last family picture that we had done. So that must have been 3 years ago, judging by the way the kids look at it. I'm looking at it, it's up on the wall over there. Um, but that one I didn't even have and give to everybody because I didn't order extra ones of it. So the family pictures that people have of us are from, oh my gosh, well, it was at my cousin's daughter's first birthday party, and she is, how old is she? She's 7, maybe. So it's been a while. My sister Dana's birthday is on March 30th. She's gonna be 42. Oh, that's a good idea, Kate. You're like, we don't need you to fry to a crisp, right? Penny. Oh my goodness, 9 years. Well, it's funny too, Penny, that you say that because I remember like when we first started going to our church. So it's been probably 15 years now since we started going there. Um, I was like one of the younger people. Like anything that I went to, it was like, there were the older women and I was still like a really young, whatever. And now I'm like, oh, like even at Bible study, like the one girl who sits at the table with us, like actually, I think everyone who sits at the table with us is older than me, except for this one girl who is much younger. And I'm like, oh, like, it's just funny because it used to be like I was like one of the very youngest people in the group, and now you're seeing there's a lot of like the younger moms with their babies and stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But the one lady, she was saying, she's gonna be, oh, 2013. Wow, you need a new one. um, she was saying, I'm gonna be 45 this year, and I didn't know how old she was, whatever. And so, but her kids, I think, are only like 8 and 10. And I'm like, I'm gonna be 44, and my kids are 23, 19, and 16. I'm like, whoa, like it's funny to be like that same age range, but her kids are like a total opposite end of, mine. Which that just made me think of. So next week, so February 15th, I will not be live because actually that lady that I'm talking about, her name's Noni. She invited all of us at her table there over for lunch, like a Galentine's kind of thing after Valentine's Day. So we're gonna go over and have lunch there. So that's exciting. She's the one I talked about her before. She's Filipino, but she's lived all over the world. She worked on a cruise ship, like she managed the staff and stuff for years. And um, she just has so much wisdom. Like her birth mom tried to abort her several times. And I mean, she's got health issues, but you can't see them. Like they're all internal. And she's just so amazing to listen to, just the things she has experienced in her life because of living all over the place and just her insight on how things are at different parts of the world compared to here and stuff. But she's also an amazing cook. And she's like, I'm gonna make lettuce wraps, like how PF Chang's makes. I'm like, okay. And she's like, I'll make a bunch of food and desserts and stuff. So I'm super excited to go over and hang out for the afternoon after Bible study. So that'll be awesome. Oh, Kate. You're like, "Whatever." Well, better than her using it as a on a dartboard or something. It's so funny, Penny. Aw, big 50. Yeah, it's so funny, at that fundraiser the other day, so there's a ton of people from the school and stuff there, and because this woman is, that the fundraiser was for her husband, she is a teacher at the school, and, my sister obviously my husband works with the school, and my sister does, and she just got a new girl who is, in the office with her, and so we had gone up and my husband was kinda talking to her, he's like, "Oh, this is my wife, Danielle," and he's like, "This is, Ashley that," and I'm like, "Oh, that Delyn works with," and he's like, "Yeah," and she goes, "I knew you were her sister because you guys look so much alike," and I was like, it's so funny. I said, we were at oh, it was the Christmas program for my niece, and, like, the next day, somebody was like, "I didn't know you had a twin sister," said that to my sister, Delyn, and she's like, "I don't," and they're like, "That wasn't your twin sister at the thing last night?" And she's like, "No," and she's like, "Oh, come on." I'm 9 years older than her. And so she's always like, "Oh, come on." So it was so funny. So I said to the girl, I'm like, "Yeah, somebody thought we were twins." And I said, which she wasn't super thrilled about since we're quite a bit, apart in age. And I said, because I'm 9 years older than her. And she goes, "I never would have thought that." And I'm like, "Well, thanks." Like, it's so funny. I'm like, "Sorry, Delenn." No, but she even says, she's like, "It's all about," she goes, "You can tell, like, you don't drink, you don't smoke, you, like, take good care of yourself." Well, not lately, but, like, it does make a big difference. It's pretty funny, and I have super oily skin, and she has really dry skin, and oily skin tends to age a little better, I think, like, you don't get as many wrinkles. I know. I'm like, "Okay, does she look really old, or do I look a lot younger, or do we both look in the middle somewhere?" So, like, maybe she just looks a little older than what she is, and I look a little younger than what I am. Whatever, I'll take it. If people think my 9 years younger sister and I are twins, okay, I'll go with that. Pretty funny. And I think I can definitely tell we look alike, but I don't think we look like twins by any means. Well, I guess you could look like twins because it doesn't necessarily mean you are identical. Because there's a lot of twins that look nothing alike, like my twin nieces look nothing alike. Like, they don't even really look like sisters, so it's pretty funny. Don't look anything like your sisters? I definitely my sisters and I, we all do look alike, but also very different. Like, I don't know, it's funny, and as we get older, I feel like we look more alike. Carla. That's funny, Penny. Like, no. Oh, man. 253. Yeah. It's one of those things too where I'm like, if I can, with the anxiety stuff, like, if I can look at things one thing at a time, that's very hard to do. And so I'm like my husband's like, "Okay, don't worry about going to Asher's game tomorrow. Like, don't worry about that. You don't have to do that. He already knows the situation. He doesn't care." And I'm like, "I know, but I care. Like, he's our last kid in school, and I don't want to miss any of his stuff." And so I'm like, that bugs me because he's like, "Just think about, like, going to babysitting tonight, and then don't worry about anything. Like, then you can think, like, I don't have anything then till a game on Friday." And I'm like, "Yeah, but no, because I am thinking I have to babysit tonight, and then I have to go to, maybe go to the game tomorrow, and then I have the game on Friday, and then I have the shower on Sunday." Like, my brain does not shut it off. Like, it just drives me crazy. And then I also realized, which he brought out to or pointed out to me, he's like, "Do you notice you say I have to?" Like, "I have to go babysit. I have to go." And he's like, "You don't have to." And he's like, "You can say no," and which is true. And he's like, "Or what if you look at things as, like, I get to go babysit and hang out with Izzy. I get to go to my son's game, whatever. I get to, and I'm like, that's so true. Like, he's very wise, and he is a very laid back person, which thank God, because if he was like me, we would be like the biggest disaster. So he does help talk some sense into me. It doesn't necessarily change the way I feel, but I can see what he's saying. Like, that's true. I'm saying it in a negative way, which I don't really mean it to be that way, but when you're saying it negative, like I have to do this, that sounds like something you don't want to do. And so if it's something you don't want to do, don't do it, kind of thing. But if it's something you want to do, then say, I get to do this. And I'm like, I like that. I like it. Yeah. Sorry, kid. Don't care what you think. You look just like me. Yeah. The boys, I mean, nobody looks just like me in my family. Definitely my son Riley has my side of the family's looks more so. Um, and not really any of my husband's side of the family's looks. Riley definitely is like all my side of the family. Asher is all my husband's side of the family, not my side of the family. And then Gavin, I think, is a very good combination because there's like pictures of my dad when my dad was younger. It's Riley now. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, he looks just like your dad. And he has my dad's stature, big thick fingers. He has a lot of like similarities to my dad. Where Gavin, I wouldn't look at him and think that, but when you look at pictures of my dad when he was younger, Gavin looks a lot like him. And then, but also Gavin and my son, Gavin is my son, Gavin and my nephew, Jordan, so my husband's sister's son, they look like they could be brothers easy. So it's just funny how like genetics work like that. That's true, Kate. Absolutely. At first, when I read that, I just saw COVID, and I thought you were, like, gonna make some joke about, like, when you have it, you can say, "I get to have COVID." Like, I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. I get to stay home because I'm sick. That's funny, Penny. Yeah, it's like, you never know how that's gonna work out. Oh my gosh, it's too funny. Now for me, I mean, no one wants to be sick, but if something makes me sick and I have to stay home, I'm like, "Okay." I don't wanna have honestly, I'd rather be sick any other way, I think. Like, I'd rather have the flu than have a migraine. Like, I cannot ugh, I just can't. And that's the thing too, I start to worry because if I'm feeling anxious like I am, I can get migraine sometimes from stress, and so I'm like, "Don't do this because I don't wanna, like, not be able to do stuff because I have a migraine." But then sometimes weirdly, I'm gonna admit this to you guys, there are times where I'm like something stressing me out about having to do it, where I'm like, if I did get a migraine, it would suck, but at least it would mean I don't have to do that. Isn't that terrible? But it's true. I'm just being honest. Oh, yay, Carla. Well, thank you so much for being here. Have fun with all your packages. I have some stuff that's coming too. I think tomorrow. Well, my Gourmand Girls package with the new palette, um, and I got one of her t-shirts. What it keeps saying that it's gonna be here tomorrow, but it is still in Texas today. So I am feeling like it's not gonna be here tomorrow. And then I have something, from Poshmark that was supposed to be here on Saturday and still isn't here. So I don't know what the heck the mail's doing, but no thank you. The present I ordered for the baby shower on Sunday is supposed to be here tomorrow, so it better be here so I have time to wrap it and stuff. Um, and then they're doing a diaper raffle, which it's kind of cool. I haven't seen it done like this before, but it's like a little card, and then it tells you what size to bring, and then your name, and then that way, not everybody's bringing like all the same size or something. So that's kind of cool. So they have a like we haven't had any baby showers in our family for a while because, well, that's not true. The last one was like it was a year ago in September. Um, But besides that, it had been a while because like all my cousins and stuff mostly have all had their first, have had a couple kids by now. So that was my one cousin, Brandon, his wife's baby shower. But otherwise, I haven't really been at baby showers or anything. Oh, thank you, Carla. Hi, Christy. Yay. Christy just got back from the most magical place on earth. So jealous. I was saying I want to go on vacation somewhere. And I'm not even somebody who usually is like that, but I don't know. I just feel like getting away. My parents are in Florida. My mom's like, if you guys get a chance, like even if it's just you and Brian, fly down and you can stay with us, whatever, because they have their motorhome down there. And his parents are down there too. So, but I don't think we're going to have the opportunity to do that. But it doesn't sound terrible. But while Asher's in school and stuff, then because he doesn't have his license yet, he turned 16 in October. But he with stuff with basketball season and stuff, it has screwed up things for him for driver's training. So is it amazing right now? But see, and the thing is, I love the snow. So I don't really actually want to leave all the snow. If it got where it was like weirdly warm and just everything's brown and ugly and there's no snow, then I'll go to Florida. But yeah, so Asher doesn't have his license yet. And that does make things pretty tough sometimes. Like even just for practices and stuff. It's like, okay, my husband and him come home from school and work. And then they turn around, an hour and a half later and have to go back up to the school for an hour and a half. And then we live like 10 minutes from the school. But yeah, it's just like, it will be nice when he has a license, because right now, if we were to leave and go somewhere on the days where like my other sons don't work in the morning, well, actually Riley doesn't work in the morning right now. He works nights. So he could now take him to school and bring him home. But other than that, it's like he's got to have somebody, and so that makes it hard to just get away. But oh, did you get them, Sue? We're still waiting on ours. Oh, thank you so much, Penny, for being here. I love you. You guys, I'm actually going to get going too because I need to go make dinner. So, Christy, I'm sorry to you get here and I leave, but I was only coming on for like a week. I was coming on for a week. Good heavens. Could you imagine sitting here with me on here for a week? Scary enough for an hour. No, for an hour, because I'm going to babysit tonight. So I'm trying to do. They don't do baby showers in the UK. Kate, I have to tell you something. That sounds fabulous. I don't know. I feel like, okay, it's not even baby showers that, like, I have no problem with that really. Because it's nice to be able to get, like, when you're a first time mom or, first time parents, to get the things you need for, babies and stuff. But now there's the tradition of the gender reveal party, and people are supposed to bring something for that. And I'm like, really? Like, I feel like it's just constant, like, things like that. And it's like, it's expensive for one thing. It takes up time, obviously. And I just don't feel like we really need to do all that. Like, if you want to do a gender reveal thing, fantastic. But I don't think it needs to be like a party where people, I don't know. I mean, people can do what they want to, but I'm just like out of that realm. You be safe too, Penny. I know, Christy. I just get where I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, and that's what I started to say earlier. Like, I love babysitting Izzy. So like, because I mean, I don't do it that often anymore. It's like once every several months, But I'm like at a place in life right now where I am so far removed from being a mom of little kids, and our family is huge. So my cousins all have young kids. So like I'm around them when we're all together and stuff. But I'm just not in that mode of being a babysitter right now. Like this is perfectly fine because she's almost 7 and we're going to go and we'll probably watch a movie together and we read books and we usually do like a craft or something. So that's fine. But as far as like, I'm talking about like chasing after toddlers and stuff, or like even sitting like playing Barbies and stuff, I'm like, it's just not like I'm out of that right now. Do you know what I mean? Where I know like once grandkids start coming around and stuff, then it'll be different again. But right now I'm just kind of in that in between where I'm like, okay, my kids are older. I don't have that responsibility of chasing after and that kind of stuff. And I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. And so I'm just like in that weird, space. Oh, thank you, Anne. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have not recorded yet for Sunday, and if I get a chance to, I will. But otherwise, it might just be a video that I already have, just because, like I said, I've been having some anxiety issues and feeling overwhelmed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to have time to do or whatever. So I will let you know. Yes, Christy, it's not where I'm at in life. And so it's like, yeah, like it's not fun to me. Like I was watching the other night at Asher's game. One of the coach's sons had his daughter with him, and she was, I don't even think she was 2. She was really little. That kid would not stop moving. She wanted to be up running around, and you can't. You're in the gym, and there's a game going on, and so he's trying to keep her occupied and stuff. And then his brother was trying, so her uncle is trying to give her stuff, and she's whipping it. Like she's so mad and whatever. Well, it was funny because I don't have to deal with it. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that stuff. Like that's not. And then Gavin and Noelle's friend that they graduated with, she has a daughter, and the grandparents had her there, and so she's like such a great little kid, but they're busy, and so she's getting down doing stuff, and so they're kind of chasing. Well, and at one point she sort of like fell, and everyone's like, ugh. But then she just kind of looked at everybody, and they're like, "Oh, you're good," whatever. Well, she was like embarrassed, but she didn't cry or anything. But I'm just going, I just don't want to do that right now. Like the idea of chasing a kid around, it's not. I'll be like, I'll babysit, but bring them to my house. I'm not taking them to like a public place where I have to chase them. Like I'm just not in that realm. Oh, thank you, Anne. Yeah, I'm like, okay, like I have to be realistic with myself about stuff. If I'm feeling stressed, I need to just back away, kind of thing, because I do that to myself. Well, is the live is on Sunday because I will be at a baby shower, and it's a 5-hour long baby shower. 5-hour long. I'm not joking. I've never heard of that before. I'm like, is this a new thing that people are doing? And my son's girlfriend was like, no, I have never heard. She will be with me at it, so that will be nice. But yeah. Bye, Christy. Yes, everybody, have a wonderful week. And like I said, I will not be on here next Tuesday. I will put up a video instead because I will be having lunch with my Bible study friends. So I'm excited about that. And but yeah, so I'll just put up a video instead. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. By the time I'm on live again, I should not be an anxious mess. But I'm feeling better. Thank you guys, because I know talking to you definitely makes a difference. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, migraine. Oh, this if I was chasing after little kids, I definitely would have one. Thank you so much. Aw, thank you, Kate. Yeah, I love you guys so much. And actually, I have my calendar right here. Let me look real quick. So I'm wondering if maybe I should go live a different day next week instead. I'm on June because my sister-in-law told me my nephew's graduation party date. So that's why I'm like, this is not the right place. Okay. So maybe I can go live next Wednesday afternoon. Would that work for you guys? Like same time, but just on Wednesday? Thank you, Anne. That's the thing. A lot of people can relate with anxiety stuff. So, and like I'm a firm believer. I was not always like this. Like I would push and push and push. Like, no, people expect this of me. Most of the time, it's not other people expecting something of you. It's you doing it to yourself. And I'm like, okay, I am not going to do this to it doesn't make sense. Like I make myself miserable. I don't enjoy things that should be enjoyable. Like why do that? So no thanks. Stop it, Kate. You know what? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and just plan next Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. I'm gonna put it in my calendar. So I will be live at 2 o'clock next Wednesday instead of Tuesday. I will put a thing on the community tab and on Instagram and stuff again, just to remind people. Um, but that way, because I like doing my lives, I like being able to chat with you guys. So I don't want to have to miss that. So let's do that. See you next Wednesday. And yeah, so yeah. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here and always being so supportive. And you guys are just, you're stinking awesome. It's just, that's just the way it is. But I will see you next week. Love you.